Let me pull up the, okay, here's the Arbaz deck. So I found a second Fleshraker for the combo here. Arbaz Mirror, whenever you cast whenever another historic permanent enters, deals 1 to an opponent and you gain 1 life. In the same way, if you Keen Sense on Fleshraker, you can Keen Sense on Arbaz Mirror, play a bunch of cheap colorless cards, win the game. Splashing Red also gets you access to Underworld Breach, which is a pretty powerful card in the deck, but you lose Eldrazi Temple and K Command, which is the downside of the Naya build. We'll look at this one. Got Arbaz, we have a Keen Sense. We don't have another color of mana. Also, the stars and the spheres, they do they do hold a lot of weight for colored mana sources. I think I'm just gonna go turn 1 Saga. Turn 1 Saga into turn 2 Spellskite. Although maybe against this, that's not going to be our plan anymore. But I think it's probably fine. How unbeatable is Orcish Bowmasters in this deck? So yeah, now that we've lost Kozilek's command, it's pretty dang tough. There's not a lot of Bowmasters at the moment, so I think trying to dodge it is fine. Okay, I think because I'm going to probably go for the Fleshraker next turn, let's just go ahead and Spellskites off the second Saga. Then we can go... Well, I was going to say we could go Springleaf Drum. Now things get a little bit weird without Spellskite getting to be in play here. Okay. So our draw step not super duper. Actually, this is we'll just get Springleaf Drum still. Okay, so grab a Springleaf Drum. Play Grove, which can help us cast Arbaz next turn if the Fleshraker gets countered. Blitz with the 57 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Why Arbaz over Reckless Fireweaver? Wait, so this Fireweaver. This was just the only other one I found. Is Fireweaver better? Whenever an artifact enters, deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's better. Okay. Let's do that then. So I just found Arbaz, and I could not find another one like this. Did not have Reckless Fireweaver. Good catch this early because it just makes our mana a lot better. I wonder if wonder how much else changes. I really liking the 4 Spellskites. I don't think it really structurally changes much besides us getting to like go down a mountain and then probably up a 3rd basic forest. I don't know if he wants 3rd basic forest or 2nd mountain here. There's another sort of reasonable one. If you 1 red triggers. Yeah, I mean, there's probably not anything too different from this. Let's play a 2nd mountain. Fireweaver doesn't trigger a Saga. That's true. Saga triggers Arbaz, but just like I think our mana just becomes immediately so much better that and also Fireweaver is playable in multiples. That this seems to be better. And it's even like you just play like multiple Fleshrakers in this card and get in there. All right, good catch. Okay, we're gonna go to 6. Let's keep our 6. Let's put back the Haywire Mite, I think. We're up against Storm here. Any Storm players doing well right now? I've been playing against the deck some recently, and it seems every time I play against the Storm deck, they just brick. See if that happens here. Probably not a very good matchup. They have 2 cards in their hand. They have a Past in Flames. I think if they're casting that fast, they probably have a Past in Flames. I'm doing pretty good with Ruby Storm and FNM, and my FNM is kind of stacked. Some feedback for sure here. So they play the Ruby, then they probably play Past in Flames for 2. They have a Reckless Impulse and a Manamorphose to try to keep going. Although they're playing Rituals first, which isn't exactly correct here. I think they should cast these first. Not the biggest deal. They Impulse into a Glimpse. They Glimpse into a Valakut Awakening and Impulse and a Manamorphose. So probably not bricking at this point. You never know, though. Like, you just cannot underestimate the ability of Ruby Storm to brick. Yeah, okay. They do have the Valakut Awakenings. They have 1 card in their hand also. They also have they have Past in Flames to flashback for all this. We can go next one. Okay. The Zoom, I just cannot get over the Zoom. Okay, so Nature's Claim is a lot better than Haywire Mite because it's like less obvious that you have it, and a lot of the builds are in on that stupid 2-mana enchantment that I guess I'm not exactly sold on that card. Probably keeping in 1 Haywire Mite still. I think the breaches are like a lot less necessary here. The Spellskites are a lot less necessary because they're just not playing their own removal. Kind of an easy sideboard plan. Let's go. Ruby is the deck that no one can interact with game 1, in my opinion. Deck's running the with Enchanter too slow to do anything about Rubies. Yeah, Ruby Storm could just be pretty well positioned. I agree. So this hand's pretty far from comboing, but we've got a good amount of disruption and card draw, so I'm going to go ahead and click the keep button. Haywire for Ruby. Well, I have 1 Haywire Mite in the main, but I ended up bringing in Nature's Claims over Mites because it's a bit better, because it's less telegraphed. Okay, I think I'm going to hold the Tormod's Crypts to trigger the Fleshraker next turn. Could theoretically get combo kill, but we have the Nature's Claim up, so it's probably going to be okay. Have I thought about making an eggs list? Yeah, a little bit. There's some. I think if we're gonna make an eggs list, it'll be with the new Lotus from the new set. So I get pretty punished for cycling the star because now I can't. Okay, now I can maybe Keen Sense. Okay, so we get to go Fleshraker, Tormod's Crypt. The Haywire Mite draws 2 here, which is pretty critical for us to keep going. Okay. Out of ammo, but with double Tormod's Crypt up, I'm feeling pretty good about our chances to untap and win. I'm not too worried about my opponent killing my Fleshraker, although that could happen. Which version of Ruby Storm do I prefer? I don't know. I will say that I have not been super impressed playing against the red artist talent. Artist talent has not looked particularly good to me. When Ruby Storm was first coming out, I was really finding a lot of success with Dragon Rage's Channeler. I thought the card was great in the deck. Nobody. It felt like nobody tested Channeler then. It feels like nobody is trying Channeler now. It is what it is. Hard for me to say like that's the direction to go after not having really played that build in like 6 months. I think I would still I don't know, like being green for Veil of Summer seems pretty nice with all the Demir. I don't know. Big mistake, opponent playing wrong reducer. Well, do we know it's a big mistake? Like, do we think that they just had Ral in their hand and they didn't play it? I don't think there's any evidence for that. They have 2 mana floating. There's a Ruby and a Rin's Resolve over there. They cast Rin's Resolve instead of the Ruby because of the whole Haywire Mite situation. That's a scary one, but should be fine. We're going to grab... I guess I don't have another Haywire Mite, actually. So I just got to grab a sphere, star, whatever. So this will draw 2. I guess I can Keen Sense my Fleshraker and draw 2 more. Come on, anything. Okay, there we go. Weirdly very close to bricking. Funny that having to attack the Keen Sense was this critical. Not very common that attacking in this archetype comes up. We thought 2 Fleshrakers was a lot of damage. I guess we actually won't get to see 3 Fleshrakers because they're just dead. Okay, going to game 3. Brotherhood End, pretty scary. Seems like a card we can play around sometimes. On the drum. Chiller seems great in the deck, but I'm no Stormer. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like I saw like many people testing it, and it was really good for us, but I don't know. I'm also not trying to just have a lot of big opinions about a deck I haven't played in 6 months. I do think I want to play the Saga turn 1, mostly so that I can try to find Tormod's Crypt quickly. Can't Nature's Claim that one. So I think we go Rumble, looking for a Keen Sense to combo off with next turn. Not something we're lucky enough to find, unfortunately. I have Nature's Claim up, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot of reason to play the Haywire Mite, especially when the Haywire might just like my opponent might take a lot of damage to Ral, and then the Haywire might just be worth 8 damage next turn. Doesn't DRC just use Challenge Job for half the cost? That's what I'm saying. I mean, it is a creature, but it's also a creature that like attack. Like the Channeler used to be like maybe a bit more of a better plan when you had Gigantha, because like Channeler plus Gigantha could just kill opponents if they like mulligan for a bunch of hate cards. Leveling talent's relevant. Yeah, I hear you, but it hasn't looked very good when I've seen people like level the talent a bunch, but it is what it is. Have they fixed the consign bug? I don't know. We haven't been playing with we have played against consign, but they never replicated it. Is the reason we don't have stirrings because of the splash? Yeah, it's like the stirring's not hitting Fireweaver is kind of tough. Rumble is the better of the 2 cards. It doesn't hit Breach either. It doesn't hit Keen Sense. You don't have K command as like a payoff to hit with it anymore either. Talent on level 1 is still really nice. I think it's worse than the Channeler's availability, especially like with all your cards going to exile, but it is what it is. They had a Ral and a Sacred Foundry, not the best. 3 cards left in their hand after that. They have already played their land this turn. They cast a Ruby Medallion. Obviously, I'm thrilled to see that with the Nature's Claim. They are thinking. I doubt they're going to want to play the second Ral. So my opponent's at 16. I can go next turn Fleshraker into Sphere into Mite. Although now I've gained my opponent 4 life. I have to do this, I think, so that Glimpse, Past and Flame's Wish are just all like much, much worse. There isn't a red Keen Sense. Not that I'm aware of. Is it just a Moxfield auto name thing you left there? No, it's just I didn't rename the deck. So is this a Fused Wear Terror? gonna minus on my token. And they play another Ral. Okay, so pretty good here. Seems like I should get a Springleaf Drum. Weird game. They kill my Haywire Mite, which I think I'm happy they're not getting closer to an ultimate. Unlikely to be a combo kill right now. A lot of times when you have Fireweaver, Keen Sense, you're just like, or it was Arbaz, you're like just drawing like 5 cards and dealing your opponent a bunch of damage, sitting up to win. Yeah, in the other build we're only playing 1 draw, but now we're on 4 Spellskites, and these cards are just way better than they were. So having Tormod's Crypt for Past in Flames, definitely a big deal here. Don't love that I didn't find a land. They plus a Ral, 2 cards in their hand. Shout out Gigantha being banned in Modern. Yeah, our boss would have died to the Ral here. Good job, chat. So hoping to draw a land. I guess it has to be a colorless land. So we're going to sack here for red. See what I'm drawing? Another copy of Keen Sense. Okay, your turn. Welt with the 17 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. If there's a blue Rumble reprint, we could go Curiosity and play Moonsnare, but Rumble probably too good. Yeah, this has been a pretty constant dialogue tree about the blue cards versus the green, and I still feel really strongly that the green cards are better. I could be wrong. I would love to hear some just dissenting opinions. They won the flip. No, Curiosity isn't combat damage. In fact, Keen Sense is just the same text as Curiosity. I think it's a lot closer now that we aren't playing Stirrings. I mean, maybe I could see that, but Haywire Mite and Rumble to me seem much better than Moonsnare Prototype or like anything else you could be playing in that spot. You're gonna flashback Past in Flames just to try to flip the Ral. Okay. I know you get a lot of comparison questions, but why is this better than Brood-Scale? I mean, the big thing is you're like a lot better against Stony Silence effects. You also get to play Underworld Breach in this build, which is really freaking nice. I think I'm gonna keep this one on the draw. It's we need a land and we need a Fleshraker. We also have Spellskite to protect our combo. We have a Keen Sense. Gonna keep. I just meant blue. Oh, blue green. Yeah, maybe. Okay, there's a Fleshraker. Yeah, I don't know. You could look at it. I think getting redundancy to your Fleshraker plus redundancy to Fleshraker plus the stupid Underworld Breach has been pretty nice. This is creativity. Wow, Farseek too. Have creativity online for next turn is kind of scary. Keeps a card on top. Hate having to play both of these opals before the Fireweaver. Creativity wouldn't run Farseek, would they? I think it seems great in their deck. It's also kind of weird. I think I'm just gonna cast this now. Because they only have 3 cards in their hand. I can't really beat a creativity next turn anyways. I may feel pretty silly. Yeah, against Galvanic Discharge. Maybe I just overthought it here. Seems they don't have the creativity in their hand, which is good. Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. Sorry. Spellskite would have just played around creativity. Sorry, chat. Although now, because they have the Shaman token, they can creativity X equals 2. Although, I guess second Spellskite kind of could get the job done against that. Discards Reprieve and only Reprieve. So they like their other card, which is bad news. What's the benefit of playing Drum? I'm gonna have a second creature in play next turn, so I could go Spellskite into tap Drum, make Saga token. Why do I have to queue into Wrath the Sky's creativity? Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, what like ancient eldritch being did I offend to queue into Wrath the Sky's creativity? Ethereum Sculptor? I don't think that pushes the needle for me at all. Why did they Wrath for 3? Couldn't they have done 2 and not destroy the Saga? Well, they were just going to pay 2. They're just getting extra energy. How many games do you think there's a fan sniping with some deck that they pre-built, boarded to beat your list? I don't think that's happened very many times. Okay, Rumble, thank you so much. Maybe blue for Archway of Innovation in this deck? Archway of Innovation's good with big, expensive cards, which is kind of the opposite of this deck. Okay, is their deck just kind of cracked? Farseek seems so good. No second land play. I did play a second land. My opponent, 1 mana stone, remained my Saga with March. I played a land that turn. I played the Saga. There's a blue card that lets you transmute for 1 drops, which isn't very good. Yeah, this has been my experience talking about the blue build of this deck. It's just a lot of like theory crafting. That doesn't really make that much sense. Like theory crafting options that just seem like worse than what we're doing. Okay, so we need our opponent to have nothing. That's step 1. Then step 2 is we sack a spawn token, discard a Keensense, Spellskite, pop off. They're gonna have 7 cards. They can't have anything relevant. An easy ask. Seven lands, Farseek's Ridden 6. Okay. That matchup seemed bad. All right, let's go to 6 here. Yeah, Wrath the Sky's creativity is pretty cool. Archway lets you cast Fleshraker easier, in my opinion. In your opinion, this is just a factually not true, right? Like, so if you Archway of Innovation to cast Fleshraker, you tap a blue source, you attach an Archway, then you can tap 2 artifacts to pay for 2 mana for the Fleshraker, but then you have to tap a 3rd colorless mana to cast it. So that would be the same as just tapping any 2 lands and a colorless source, except you've tapped two other Eldrazi. You don't need colorless source, is my point. No, you do need to still spend colorless mana on Fleshraker. You are wrong. Like in the Storm game, you didn't have any color sources. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. But sorry, I should have seen if I was playing 1-drop or not. Is our first energy opponent today? Might be. Have I beat down with Saga tokens yet? I mean, not today, but I have. BK Kids Club, thank you for the 2 years. Let's go. It's kind of weird, but I don't really want to block this anyway, so I'm just going to main phase the Saga token and play the Star so that it's a 4/4 and doesn't die to Flage. Worse against Discharge. Yeah, Improvise does not remove the colorless requirement. I do think that so I'm really excited for Repurposing Bay. And I'm really excited. So like you can't really plan to fiddle bend like a Thought Monitor into a Sundering Titan because your fiddle bender is a 2-mana 2/2. It's just going to die more often than you get to do this thing. However, Repurposing Bay happens to be, I guess I'm going to get Bauble because I get the Scribe. Repurposing Bay happens to be an artifact that you can activate really quickly with Enigma Jewel. And so I'm getting pretty excited about really quickly putting a Sundering Titan into play. And it's also pretty interesting that you can play Archway of Innovation in this shell as like kind of a backup way to... Okay, definitely the card I was hoping to find. It's really cool to me that you can play Archway of Innovation as kind of like a backup way to cast your Sundering Titans if you draw them. Cityscape Leveler, maybe. So like I don't think there's any card I'm really itching to play with more than that. Tomorrow there's supposed to be like an early access event for Aether Drift. The problem is like on Magic Online they just haven't been firing. Like the people just don't play in these events. So I'm not really thinking I will necessarily tomorrow, but we'll see. Okay, so this is, let's say they jump here. I can block, go to 1, try to untap here. I think waiting 1 more turn is pretty nice. Yeah, you could also Manifold Key the Bay. I'm really excited for that deck. I think it's going to be so sick. We'll see how it actually ends up playing. They let PT competitors onto the Arena Early Access. They might do the same for Magic Online. They used to invite me to the Arena Early Access event. I haven't been invited in like a year-ish. Breach into Double Bauble as a prayer. I think I just would rather try to like find Rumble or Fleshraker and try to actually like win the game. But yeah, I don't know if I would have done the Early Access event. But it would be maybe good. I mean, I did spend some time playing Standard a couple months ago, and it would be nice. I don't know if I should just try to email them to get back on the list or not. My opponent says, sorry thinking. That's okay. Man makes playing Modern less fun when the most played sideboard card is broken. Yeah. Hope they fix it soon. They do decide to kill the Spellskite. Dead to Flage. So I'd like to bring in a needle. This zoom is how is it every time? Every time the zoom is here, it, like, well, I really wish I knew why. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that it matters. I just think it's so funny. I just wish I could understand how this even happens. I think I'm actually go down on Fireweavers. Let's try this, like -3 Fireweavers, -2 in a Bauble. I played against there's like a Goblins deck from the new standard cards, like the new Ringleader. Could be wrong. There doesn't seem to be a lot of overlap between streamers for MTGA and MTGO in the creator space. Either you are MTGA creator or MTGO. Never seen someone in both. I mean, Doomwake, Nassif, Caleb, Jim. As far as I know, they all do maintain both. It's tough. Like, I remember when Timeless was coming out. Timeless was really cool, and I spent a lot of money getting into Timeless. That ended up not being super worth it. I liked Timeless, damn it. I wish that like Arena was better. Yeah, there are a few, but yeah, for me, it is very difficult to make a collection for both, and of course, I've kind of spent a career making myself the modern guy. Yeah, there are people who do both. I'm gonna play the Saga turn 1. My hot take is standard MTGA actually sucks. Yeah, when I was playing standard, I just played on Magic Online. I liked my experience. Timeless is still really fun. Yeah, I just like, it doesn't feel like a very satisfying format to grind on Magic Online. Like, this is, I don't know how important this is or whatever, but I don't really like how on Arena it, like, the ladder just is not fun for me. Just like, okay, we're gonna climb the ladder, and there are no cash prizes. Like, the prizes are just worthless. There's actually just nothing to them. Makes it pretty hard for me to get excited about booting up an Arena ladder. It's just like, you're just actually playing for nothing, and besides, bragging rights or whatever. Well, the cost is also nothing. Yeah. But that's also the problem, right? It's just like, it's just all nothing. So we can go Breach. I think when I hold the star for now, I'm not sure if this is correct. Yeah, if there were more like big premiere events I could play, that would be what I would want to see. I'd like to see people playing more Ranger Captain and Boros. It's time, maybe. When it has competition. Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's just even less about the competition and more so it's just like the ladder is just not very fun for me. I don't think the ladder is a really enjoyable way to experience competitive Magic. Like, when you're, it's not the same as poker, but I feel like there are a lot of similarities to just like, not like just playing poker for fun. Like, stakes make things, I think, just more interesting, even if the stakes are small. Not the biggest complaint ever, but I think the league structure on Magic Online is one of its biggest strengths, and something I really hope they keep for the foreseeable future. Poker is not fun. Winning is fun. I don't know. It's like, I have a lot of fun playing poker like at home with friends. I think this is like for me, it's the only way I enjoy to play it. Just at home goofing around. But it isn't fun if there are no stakes. But just like low stake home game poker is a really fun night. I think is for me at least. Actual going to a casino and playing poker does suck though. Best of one is the worst thing to happen to Magic in a long time. In a long time. We've had, since Best of One came out, we've had Nadu, Uro, Companions, Death of the Pro Tour. Surely all those things are worse. So I don't get my Needle for the Johnny next turn. There are events like Leagues on Arena, but not very popular. Yeah, that was kind of my experience too. It's just hard to get in. But also the leagues, they're still for like microtransaction-y stuff you can't cash out of. Okay, I think this is where we're calling it for today. Tomorrow we're going to try to fire the Aetherworks Marvel deck of the challenge, but I'm going to play a little bit of it off stream tonight to do some vibe check on it. I'm glad we got to this deck. I'm glad we got to the Mardu Titans deck. That deck did okay. Might actually be right to be a stupid freaking Doorkeeper Thrall shell, but I just hate that card. But it is like Doorkeeper Thrall is like just so good right now. It might actually just be good. The Bugosi deck is looking pretty powerful, but it just kind of stinks.